I've never been late in the entire history of my life, if you ignore all the times I've ever been late.
I hate the concept of freedom because you basically aren't free when you need to pay for living and follow rules made by other people.
Yeah. There's negative freedom and positive freedom. Which one's which? The difference is your capacity to do things you want to do versus being free from restrictions to do things. If you're in a desert by yourself, you have the absolute maximum negative freedom ever. There's no one telling you what to do, no responsibilities, no regulations, no laws. You can do literally whatever you want to do, but it's a shit life, obviously, because you need a balance of positive and negative freedom. That's why people live in societies. They recognize that you got regulations on you, you're restricted, you can't do particular things sometimes, but in general, you have more positive freedom where you're actually able to do things you want to do, irrespective of your circumstances. Just so latest ramble, I wonder how much you feel your movie and TV show interests are affected by your age and unconscious nostalgia. For me, hype quality of shows and movies has increased. Yeah, it's definitely, surely that's a thing, right? I've said this before, where as you get older, stuff is less new and less geared towards you as a dominant demographic. Like I've seen dozens of superhero movies, but if you're like young or younger than me, like, you're 18 or whatever, you haven't necessarily done that. It's hard to like reset your brain and just imagine what it's like to see movies today, or movies and TV shows today that are with fresh eyes, Every generation says new shows and movies are bad and not like they were. See, that's my thing though. I'm not saying they're bad. New stuff being made is some good stuff, right? Well, it is good stuff. It's just, there just seems to be less collective watching of particular things because there's just so much content. And algorithmically, everyone's put into their own little buckets and stuff. So I uploaded my worst performing video of all time. It was just me yapping at DreamHack. I guess I'll just organize a flat fee to pay the person who edited it. The retention here is just not good at all. So like 20,000 people clicked in and 10% got to the end. So it was like 2,000 people watched it, which is cool. Appreciate it. I ended up unlisting it because it was just like embarrassing how few views it got. Because like I had no way to sell the video algorithmically because it was ultimately just me sitting and yapping, answering random questions. And I don't know how to, as they sell that so the algorithm will think that people care about it. Not only is there a smaller audience for that than my normal content, but also I have to be able to sell that somehow, right? I just can't. A mildly important video will be going up on the, well, it's not really that important, but well, the first 30 seconds of it explains it, so I'll just play that. The video hasn't released yet because I haven't got a thumbnail for it, but a few years ago during a live stream, I spoke at length on the topic of why people differ in what they believe and how they act. The talk existed ever since on my main channel, but I did private or unlisted for a variety of reasons over the years. Surprisingly, every time I did so, I would receive emails and messages asking to gain access to it again. For example, I received this message today, which has inspired me to re-upload this video on my side channel as I have deleted it from my main channel. I won't waste your time speculating on why this talk resonated with people so much, but I will warn you it does start kinda slow. This talk was not pre-planned, and the question that instigated it was not well formed. It is a very interesting video, and I've been told countless times it's a very interesting video. But I've still always been very surprised how many messages I've received like this. I want to ask briefly about a video of yours that you recently said to private. Why do people believe and act differently? I found it to be a particularly thoughtful piece of analysis, and I've referenced it often in professional context as it helped clarify some key dynamics I encounter in my job as a lawyer. What I really hate though about this thing here, how many of you noticed this little piece of hair here? It's just one piece of hair. Like, what is this? Drive me crazy. The person who sent me that message sent a follow-up message actually. Let me see if I can find that. You mentioned at the start of the video that you wouldn't speculate on why it resonated with people. For what it's worth, I think in my case, it was because I recognized a younger version of myself in the person you were debating with, someone more focused on individual blame than on understanding how much of a person's behavior stems from environment and circumstance. Yeah, as I talk about in the video, the viewpoint I'm trying to combat makes society so much worse for everyone. But despite that, I think it's a good talk. I'm still surprised how many messages I get about it, because whenever I remove it, because it only got like 60,000 views on the main channel over like 3 years. In a weird way, I don't like to look at it because it reminds me of the person that I used to be, and I'm so passionate and sharing my views about things and thinking change viewers' minds matters. And it was only a couple of years ago, man. I was far more optimistic about things, but life beats you down. Like, I woke up this morning and I saw a tweet, someone ats me and writes some complete bullshit. They've just been lied to by someone, and I could respond and convince them of that, but what's the point? There was a time when receiving even just one message like that would kind of throw me off for the day, but now it's just like, I've received so many. I've been so persistently and consistently lied about by people who don't have any content, and they just need something to talk about. And so we'll just invent shit. That all I have in my heart is pity for these people who are just going to be, they're going to exist being lied to forever. And there's nothing I can do about it. Check if the video's out by the time this ramble comes out. It should be.
I feel like other people spreading misinformation about you is more a part of job as a personality-heavy creator. I honestly can't think of a large creator who doesn't have some lies out about them. Unless you want to be Watch Mojo, this likely won't change.
I mean, even Watch Mojo has also gotten, I don't know about liars necessarily, but they've also got flack over the years. It's just, there is an industry that exists specifically to talk about content creators and to therefore necessarily exaggerate and expand upon things that they do in order to generate content, to endlessly speculate. This was stuff that existed for traditional celebrities with gossip magazines. They've filled a function in the market. And so understandably, there's going to be that kind of product and audience in our industry as well. It is just very tiring. And me, I have the unfortunate thing that being lied about is like my button that you press. You can walk up and call me a fuckwit. You can walk up, you can say I'm shit, my content shit. I won't bat an eye. I will not care even slightly. There are very few things, I can't think of a single other thing that I care about even slightly. No, I can get angry on behalf of the other people. Like I can feel a sense of anger at like injustice or, someone being treated unfairly. But when it comes to me personally, it is just that. Because everything else is just like a subjective opinion. Like if you don't like me, who cares? If you dislike me for something true, who cares? There was a time when I was disliked for things that were actually true about me. And that was fine. Because matter of opinion. Like you don't like my politics. I mean, in some ways, like Destiny calls me a fuckwit. I think it speaks well of my character, that like a genocidal sex pest thinks I'm a fuckwit, right? That doesn't faze me at all. In fact, I prefer it to be that way. But when it comes to people lying about me and spreading that information to innocent people who are completely unaware that they're being lied to, it bothers me. With every passing year, it's bothered me less, and I'm more able to resist it or care about it, but it's still annoying. It's still the one of, if not the worst part of this job. It is naturally a consequence of every form of discourse that when you put forth an opinion about something, especially an opinion about something exploitative that makes people money, there's going to be invested interest in making up shit about you, spreading false information, trying to get at you any way that they can. I knew that even when I was speaking out about stuff so long ago. It's why I was so resistant to doing it. Like I was well aware that people, the average person, will never understand the market forces that causes reaction content to be nothing but a detriment to creators. That's why I was resistant to talking about it all publicly. And if it wasn't for Charlie telling everyone that I thought watching YouTube videos is the same as rape, I never would have combated it to the degree that I did, even whilst still feeling the same way that I do. Like I know I've brought this upon myself. It'd be much better if that negative aspect of the online ecosystem just didn't exist, because it provides no value to anyone and specifically harms everyone, those who consume it, those who it's produced about. But it exists entirely for the benefit of people who can produce nothing positive for society, but want to generate money in the easiest way possible, which is just mindlessly speculating and making up bullshit to appeal to an audience. What can you do? You know what really sucks, guys? While I was over in Miami, I broke one of my DJI microphones. These are little ones here, which have like a little, quite powerful magnet actually. Like it's a little thing here, and it goes like on your chest here like this. The audio quality is pretty good considering how small it is, but there are quite a few of these microphones around. The main reason why I used these ones is because they connect to my action cam instantly, and it's just very convenient to connect them to this instantly. Like you just turn them on, they connect without any fuss. You may wonder how I have some. It's because I lost one in Miami and I broke one in Miami because it fell in a puddle of water. And so while I was in Miami, I ordered myself 2 more replacements, each costing like 65 Australian dollars. And when I arrived home, they were here for me. So I now have 2 new DJI mini microphones. And then it's now like 3 days later, and I woke up and in my mod channel was this video. Meet the DJI Mic 3 Advanced Mini Wireless Microphone. And it's just the new version of the microphone that I just purchased a couple of days ago. So, is it even gonna show like a good image of it here? Somewhere here? See, like it's just the same one. Just with a few more better features and shit. Like, reality was telling me, look, brother, you don't need these mic minis, right? We're chucking them away, just get rid of them. Something's come along, and I'm like, nah, I'll just buy more. So I wasted 120 bucks. They did me dirty. And it's funny because I bought at least one of these from the DJI website. And then the next day, I kid you not, I went to the DJI website and everything was sold out of this type of microphone. The carrying case, the things that plug into phones and stuff, every single accessory and the microphones were out of stock. And I was like, that's weird. There was stock of some of these things yesterday. Oh well. So clearly they did try to stop people, at least on their website, buying the old devices, at least, you know, like a 5 days before launch, but I just happened to get in a day early. Very bad RNG, as they say. Random number generation means luck. But yeah, so these microphones, I've always liked using them, but under every video that talked about these microphones, of which there are many because DJI sends out like review copies, review samples to a lot of people. Not to me, unfortunately, because they don't like me. They don't even know I exist, whatever. But you can see like at the same time DJI released theirs, like all these videos came out from so many different channels. Many with just only a couple of views and stuff, because barely costs DJI anything to give these channels videos, samples and stuff. But in the comment section of all of these is this. Bought the Holyland Lark Max 2 combo with an extra mic, and I must say I'm not regretting it at all. Got wireless monitoring with when 2 subjects and much more accessories and much more cheaper. And I actually prefer the sound to the DJI Mic 3. This is said in every single one of these videos, or the comment section, because 2 weeks ago, this product released. And from everything that I've heard, they are better than this product in every single way. But the only reason why I'm not getting these is because they don't fit my use case. For 99% of use cases, these are better. They are cheaper, have more features, easier to use. But because I'm using the DJI Action Pro, and I don't want a lavalier mic, and I don't want any of the other features that these HoloLens Mark IIs have, the DJI Mini 3s are still the best for me. But that's only because I'm a live streamer. If I was doing anything else that I had more freedom to like click stuff in and stuff, I would probably buy these. So if you are looking for some little mics to use, you know, check out the Holyland Lark Max 2, or just watch videos comparing them, because they do have different features. And, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, the DJI Mic 3 is larger. And it is also unfortunate that DJI were complete jerks and put their, you see this logo on the front here? Super large. The old ones have it like still there, but a bit more subtle. It's like, as you know, this actually changes as well. Well, it's still more subtle. It's smaller. It's like smaller, and it's a little bit shiny, but like it's subtle. They increased the size and made it white. How garbage. It's the same thing that Rode did with these fucking things here, and I had to paint it black so at least it doesn't stand out. Fucking companies and turning people into billboards for their products. It's like when people prefer to buy shirts with logos on them and stuff. And it's like, hey bro, I have this t-shirt, you know, you want this t-shirt too, go check out this brand. It's almost like products with brand logos on them should cost less money, or you should be able to pay more money to have the logos removed, like $5-10. I deserve a discount. Over the course of my career on YouTube, there has always been ups and downs. Times when at particular months it seemed like the algorithm was being a bit mean to your boy DarkViperAU, and other months where I'm looking at my numbers being like, man, I'm not releasing that much good stuff. Why am I getting so many views right now? I've seen like days where like dozens of videos will just get like boop, like in views. Is that the algorithm's just like, oh man, that DarkViperAU is feeling bad today, let's just give him some views, right? But whenever I, you know, I'm all doom and gloom like this is the end, I like to look at this graph, or rather I like to remember this graph. Like I don't look at it every time, but this is my lifetime views for the entire channel. It says 2.2 billion, obviously a lot of that shorts, but obviously I've deleted many videos over time, and if you're curious, I've probably got like 700 million views on long form videos, which are more important. So this is my career in a nutshell. So you got here, I had 0 views in 2012. Well, actually, I technically had another YouTube channel before this. This is my gaming career, you could say, outside of Twitch. 2012, 0 views. 2013, 5,000 views. 2014, 14,000 views. 2015, 17,000 views. 2016, 22,000 views. 2017, 74,000 views. This is when I started taking YouTube seriously. Like I wanted to actually upload my content to YouTube and get some views. When I started figuring out editing and stuff, I had uploaded YouTube videos in the past, as you can see here, and on the other channel and stuff. But this was when I was like, okay, I am a Twitch streamer first and foremost, but I want to be a YouTuber as well in the gaming sphere. And so 2017, 75,000 views. Next year, 425,000 views. So this is when things start to go off. 2019, 32 million views. 2020, 100 million views. 2021, 200 million views. 2022, 250 million views. 2023, 360 million views. 2024, 550 million views. And 2025, 642 million views. And we're not even through 2025 yet. It does a little bit suck because, you know, shorts distort this towards the end here at different points. Nevertheless, in terms of people seeing my face and seeing my content, every year I've done better than the year before. So it's good. And let's hope that trend continues. So some people are confused at the thumbnail that I had for episode 56 of all awards. It looked a bit low quality, zoomed in like that, but it's me in a bathtub full of awards, and I got a rubber ducky on my head. But you can see my feet sticking out of the bathtub. It's somewhat reminiscent of that scene in Witcher 3, where he does something similar, you know? Yeah, so nothing says there, yeah. I don't know if Mim like specifically went for a Witcher 3 reference, but I gave them the idea of me being in a bathtub full of awards with a rubber ducky on my head, and he put those feet in. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's like Witcher 3. That'll get some clicks, right? Because the problem I had is that there was 55 episodes of all awards, now 56. And if you see this thumbnail and you can't see the number, which you can't in some cases, like at the end of videos, it just shows your thumbnail, you're not gonna know if you've seen that episode before. You're like, oh yeah, I probably seen this, right? Because like, you know, the thumbnails are all like scene from video, scene from video, scene from video. Like when there was less all awards episodes, you were like, well, I haven't seen this one clearly because it's just a new kind of series, right? But as the awards became, the more episodes came out, I think people just don't realize they haven't seen the episodes. So I was like, I mean, people get the premise, right? As long as the thumbnail is communicating the premise that I'm getting awards in GT Online, I can do basically anything. So that's why I gave Mim that idea, in the hopes of it getting a few more clicks. And basically it was my third best performing video behind Melee only. And I mean, the retention doesn't get influenced by it doesn't get changed by the thumbnail, but the retention's good. Like 38% getting to the end of one of these videos is good. Like these all awards videos, especially many of the most recent ones, are edited very well. If people aren't clicking them, they are entertaining, engaging videos. But yeah, the click-through rate still looking pretty good. We're at like hour 10, still hitting at 6%, which is higher than average. The next one is gonna be this. It's not done yet, right? But this is very preliminary. Do you get this reference? Titanic, there you go. Instantly in chat. I want him changed to Yusuf, because I think like Yusuf looks more interesting and he's more popular character, right? And I think while you normally can't see a boat in the background, because this is like the actual thing it looks like in Titanic, I think there should be the boat a little bit visible. And we need more awards, like raining down or around my neck as if it's like the blue gem from the movie. Also might be good to have this hand flipped around. So, because I like that it references Titanic, but even if you don't get that reference, it's funny because he's T-posing. So it has multiple levels there. And half just said in chat, T-pose, yeah. So it's a good idea. We went to, well, my sister, my dad, my girlfriend, Aitana, and myself, we went to see the new Naked Gun movie. And it was good. Aitana didn't like it. It is crazy how limited the taste Aitana has for media. For example, she won't watch anything animated. And we basically did a thing where like I would do one thing she wants and she does one thing I want. And I wanted her to watch Megamind and Emperor's New Groove, and also not necessarily watched by everyone animated movies I've ever seen. And I showed them both to her and she's like, oh, I've seen these are great. I was like, what? But I thought you didn't watch animated stuff. She's like, oh yeah, well, I've seen these ones. Like, oh, the blue haired guy. I know that guy. But she didn't like Naked Gun. So Naked Gun, for those who don't know, is sort of like a remake sort of sequel to the original Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen, where it was basically Leslie was a drama actor and then he moved into comedy, but he didn't stop presenting himself as like a drama actor in the comedy. The idea being you're never meant to communicate to the audience that you know what you're doing is funny. And so it's a lot of like short gags. I'll show you one example from the newest movie. It's like 15 seconds, but it communicates perfectly the sort of comedy that's in the movie. All the movies, the first edition and this new one with Liam Neeson.
You don't remember me, do you?
Should I?
My brother, you shot him in the name of justice.
That could literally be thousands of people.
Shot him in the back as he ran away.
Hundreds.
Unarmed.
At least 50.
He was white.
So you're Tony Royland's brother.
So it's a movie with just non-stop jokes like that. Like a lot of taking things to extremes to create a laugh, as in like, you know, cops drink coffee a lot. So throughout the movie, they're constantly given coffee in even the most ridiculous of circumstances. There's a lot of wordplay, intentionally misunderstanding words, like double meanings of words and stuff. Like a simple one, like take a chair. And she's like, no, I've got many at home, thank you. That kind of comedy. And so that doesn't vibe with everyone, but I like it. And the movie did very well in terms of its rating. What was it, IMDb? It's not that good, it's 6.7. But that's what I mean, like it's a comedy that appeals to a certain amount of people and it appeals to me. And my father though, most importantly, he loved it. He laughed many, many times during the movie, and that's the important thing because it's Father's Day. So if you're looking for a comedy with that kind of comedy in it, if you like that kind of stuff, feel free to watch it. In fact, if you like my kind of comedy that I make in my videos, you'll probably enjoy it because it's somewhat similar to a lot of the comedy that I do. When I think about the kind of jokes that I make, it's actually a significant variety. I don't know where... Like, I'm sure a lot of my comedy is unintentional, but like, I love this what happened yesterday. Another DarkViperAU out of context moment. The silence was loud even if it was unintentionally funny. So I'm gonna go into director mode to make myself fuck. And I just never acknowledge it. But because obviously that was unintentional. But like when I said it, I'm like, I realized what I said. Hi! Getting to the end of a Viper Rambles episode proves that you like me and my work far more than the average person. Given that, it's possible that you might find value in becoming a YouTube member. Members get early access to all my videos, including Rambles, as well as access to my growing library of re-uploaded deleted videos, 5% off my merch, and the ability to leave comments and feedback before public release, which is incredibly helpful for me and my team. You also get a cute badge next to your name, so I can easily identify you in my comment section and live stream chats, and you can also use all my cute emotes everywhere on the channel. Lastly, after 3 months of being a member, you can submit on my Discord to join my GTA Online crew. Thanks for the consideration, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you enjoy future ones as well.